Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Cashflow Digital, sponsored by ODYS. I'm getting it right now. Mike's hand is on point. ODYS for Aged Inspired Domains. The link is below if you're interested in getting a free $100 bonus for just signing up and seeing what inventory they've got. So, yeah, check out ODYS. But also,
dude, we're starting I think we're going to start on Mike and I dropped some change on some stuff, and we're going to do
we bought some shit from ODYS for a case study. So we're starting to we're going to hit some financial.
We're not fucking around with this one. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And we plan to share everything because I feel like transparency is lost in this industry for good reason, because you can get some shit taken out once you start sharing it. But luckily this isn't any GMB PPL stuff. So also
just for clarity, I've just seen Gary Farmer's comment here.
Dude, the FIFA failure.
That's cracking me up.
I'm also doing a live case study with an ODYS domain name.
Sweet.
Because they said like they wanted me to do one anyway, but obviously we know you don't want to share your own fucking money website. So I am literally documenting already, just ordering the content, what I do. I'm not, I'm seeing it as an investment thing. Buy the Age domain, why I'm buying that particular domain name, buying content, loading it up, doing the whole fucking shit match.
Are you going to go into why you're picking that specific industry as well? Because that would be interesting.
Yeah. So I've been seeing too many people come through, and shame on me for not looking through the inventory earlier. But I found
it's our fucking students and inspired
in a few different markets, like some that we're already in, like some sites that I'm like, okay, this can help out the network, this can help this out, let's do this here. And then we're hitting a brand new market as well, dude. So this will be fun.
A brand new market that we have interest in, which I think is important for everyone.
Long term.
A lot of people ask me how do I get started? How do I pick a niche? I don't know. What are you into, dude? What do you want to be into? Even if you're not into it, I mean, if you think you might have interest, you'll find out real fucking quick if you start this type of site, whether you want to fucking just or not. Post up some questions, and everyone. I got a documentary I just finished watching over lunch. I started it last night. I thought it was interesting. I thought of Craig. It's called Fake Famous.
Why the fuck would you think of me?
It's Craig. No, I'm just joking. I didn't think of Craig. I thought of me. But it was crazy. It was an HBO documentary, so it was on HBO Max. But it was produced by HBO. They didn't just buy it. But it was interesting because they took three people, a chick and two dudes, and they made them fake famous. So it was like a struggling actress, and then I don't know what the fuck the guys did because they couldn't handle it and dropped out. But the chick ended up getting like she was up over 250,000 followers. She's getting all this free shit, but it was insanity to me because it's something that Mike and I have talked about, and it's the reason why we talk about cash flow so much in NFG. The insane part to me was they were sending her free stuff, sending her free all kinds of free shit. Like they're like, well, let's see if we can get her on a free vacation. So they did it. And she got to go on a free vacation, 5-star, all this shit. But what was interesting near the end, they're like, yeah, we're almost to the point where she can actually start getting paid for this stuff. I was like, she's not actually getting paid for any of this. Like you're doing these, they're like, yeah, we're almost, who's giving me feedback?
It was me. Sorry, man.
God damn it, Craig.
You're gonna anger the beast, bro. He's getting mad.
There's one thing that pisses me off is feedback. Is hearing my own voice. Honestly, I don't see how anyone is on
dude,
this
you're really annoying to listen to, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised anyone is on. It's got to be because of Craig and the first best looking SEO to my up there,
dude. When you posted on that, you triggered engagement, and then all of a sudden, I started getting messages and all this fucking shit all over my thing, so I had to hide it from myself.
What's funny is, speaking of engagement, and I wouldn't call that viral, but compared to your normal post, that was reality.
Compared to me, dude, that's viral.
Yeah, exactly. But what was interesting is they were talking about the bots, and not bots in the sense that we typically use them to automate our SEO processes and stuff, but bots as far as scraping a shit ton of fake profile pictures, grabbing a bunch of fake profile like write-ups, mixing all those and shit, and kind of spinning the content and throwing them back out there with all these fake accounts. But when they first started to kick this stuff off, they would post and then buy the bots, post, buy followers, buy likes, buy comments, buy everything. I'm not saying anyone in here does it, but it was interesting because if anyone's read Success, which is like all about the success formula, Stephen King recommended it a few months ago and I read it. It was interesting. But they were talking about just getting that ball rolling helps you kind of snowball. Kind of makes me want to just go out and test it, but I don't want to take that many pictures of myself. They'd all be like angry selfies.
I won't lie. I'm quite happy to throw myself under the bus. Like, I faked it. Not that I've ever made it, by the way, but
you're doing pretty well for YouTube. It's funny.
For a guy from Scotland, dude, for you. Bro, you're doing
like a guy from Scotland in a very, we're not even in the, essentially in
we're a tiny little fucking drop.
A sub-niche of a sub-niche,
It's so yeah, I would totally agree that works and has worked for me relatively well. Fake it till you make it. Again, done it with Twitter and all that years ago as well. I bought a fuck ton of Twitter followers and people started to take them.
Dude, I sold software based on this shit. Like, seriously, man, I wrote like Social Explosion in a month because I had this amazing.
Social Explosion was bad ass until the network got raped.
This was literally, I had a network of like freaking, it was like 15,000 Twitter accounts, anything on the social data hub, so Google social data hub, when they were using that data to collect information and do their big data shit. I went and I created like massive amounts of accounts. Massive amounts of
None
accounts.
of us have.
and literally I did it for indexation, but once I did it for indexation, I realized, well, I can just shit out content and then throw it into like 15,000, 20,000 social media accounts, just explode it by sentence, take a sentence randomly out of the piece of content, let it hit a random fucking social account, do that like 2,000 times a day to each fucking post that you put up, publish like 20, 30 posts a day. So 2,000 times 30, dude.
When we were doing the mass spam auto blogging, Mike, I know you got into it before I did. Then I kind of.
Yeah, no.
How many were you doing per day?
So my sites, what I was doing was I was just scraping YouTube and scraping transcripts and scraping content and then just making a post. Doing that anywhere. Some of the sites were doing 15 an hour, 24 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
And then that would go out to the network of like 30,000 social accounts, like sentence by sentence, just so it's randomized everywhere, just a snippet everywhere. And I had sites I watched for like 18 months that I ran it for a month and then shut it off, and they continued to index for fucking 18 months, dude. And they ranked for 18 months, right? And the shit still works, when you do it at certain levels.
That's the whole point behind like building a huge, complicated IFTTT network, essentially. The problem there, in my opinion, is keeping the accounts live.
And then I sold the WordPress rights, but the problem is that if you want to like buy that from someone, like when they went and took it commercial,
it's a service,
fucking expensive, dude, to do what I was doing, paying like for someone else's SaaS, right? You pay for someone's SaaS, they're marking up the transfer, they're marking up every piece of it. There was some shit I saw today on Facebook on this note. So like Video Master Suite or Video Blaster Suite turning into like Vidly or whatever. I saw it come through, and it's that typical like SaaS bait and switch. Like, here, we're going to sell you a desktop software. Have this, run this. Oh, but now we've got this SaaS and everyone's got to buy it again. And that's just a way for people to get a recurring fee, right? With a markup on transfer, right? So when you go and you
that's
do
how
that,
Amazon makes a shit ton of money, recurring fees. Or not Amazon, Amazon too, but Apple, all the big tech.
And I don't know the dudes with this software at all. I can't speak on anything on the quality of anything they're doing, but it's a very obvious model. I saw some people I know kind of like chuckling in the comments because they like were selling this shit as a desktop software up until the day they launched the SaaS, and then they, of course, are like, well, there's no upgrade. There's no upgrade. You have to buy it again because it's a way to go and get everyone on a monthly fee. It's just a model, right? And so when you take a system that works really well in private like that and you try to commercialize it, it falls apart really fucking quick because they kill the network, everyone comes in and, you know, if it's not mine, I'm gonna break it, right? I don't care about it. It's not mine. And then they're also paying for it. So to get even
if you're paying for it, then you should use it. You know, it's kind of like crowd search. You know,
but see, even to get a fraction of what I was doing, it was something like for like a freaking a 30th of the amount I was putting out on a single site, people were paying like $1,000 a month to do it, dude, when it literally cost absolutely almost nothing to do. But once you commercialize and you bring users in and you have to maintain support, then it becomes a different story. That's why private tools are always more effective, in my opinion, because the cost remains lower.
And that's why we don't sell a majority of the private tools that we have. One, I mean, there's that reason. Plus, they're very specific to what we're doing at the moment too. I mean, I might be using a certain bot for 6 months, and then, you know, tactic A stops working, so I gotta kind of flip it and then go from there. But yeah,
no, it's interesting. It's just it's an ecosystem. Like, you can do it and make it profitable for people, but it always is more profitable to run shit in house.
It was funny. I think we handed it out at an event, but when we completely automated Lead Gadget back in the day, like start to finish, like
not even our software, right? Not even our software at the time. We did get ownership of it later, but I mean, you can automate other people's shit if you're using other people's shit to make it more effective for you, for sure.
More efficient, yeah. And then Super Clicker. I mean, we've automated that like heavily. You know, remember we were sitting at CIC one time, and we needed to send them more traffic. So I loaded up 300 mass page sites. I was like, yeah, you'll get more traffic by the end of the day. They're like, how do you know? I was like, because while we're at lunch, this bot's fucking running.
There's like 7 people sitting around the table. There's a golden fucking shovel in the drawer over here. That
boardroom was amazing. That was before the boardroom. Yeah, we didn't get to him until after lunch. Yeah, okay. No, I did it in Cynthia's office.
Gotcha.
Sat there and like Mike's talking to him and everything. I'm sitting there like this because this is how I look when I work. So that's why I don't do live cams of myself working, because it just
not those kind of cams, but he does have one stream on OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's under the desk.
You said Cynthia and you called him. Cynthia Bloke.
Oh, just director of marketing, and then like a whole bunch.
Cynthia was director of marketing. The boardroom was with the owner of the company, which was a him.
Yeah, but Cynthia is a him as well. Yeah.
No, that was a chick.
Cynthia's.
I was going to say that's a chick's name over here.
She is very woman. Yes.
Yeah, enough about that. I just wanted to clarify.
She loves tacos.
Those are those types of those campaigns are interesting when they have like 13 attorneys on staff and you're trying to navigate this like internet marketing space.
You're trying to describe Black Hat in the least Black Hat way you can, essentially.
When you get Black Hat past 13 attorneys, you've done.
You're doing good. Yeah.
So,
good.
There's a question from Nickelback.
Are you right now? I mean, it doesn't take me long. Right now, are you using the Ahrefs method? Because Ahrefs and the hardest part is building up your list of seed sites. If you're already in the industry, then you should know them. And then in some industries, it's more difficult.
I want to clarify the difference between doing a mini net and doing this with Ahrefs and finding your sites, between like massive drop catching, like when we're doing link building and trying to drop catch like 80,000 domains a month. They're not the same thing, okay? So kind of separate in there. Like if you're,
I don't think drop catching is covered in the mini net course.
No, and they're different.
Like,
what we're talking about here is building something that you're going to rank. You're looking at this as your money layer, where you're actually putting enough effort into it to make money. Like you should be making money on every single domain that you select in this process. If you're trying to build links, if you're trying to do like link building through like domain acquisition, then you're doing a different thing. It's not the same shit. And in that case, if you're doing link acquisition, you're looking at a different set of metrics based on how you do your SEO. We're not looking for the same metrics in our tier structures as we are in our top level sites, where we're actually generating traffic. And we call it our network or our publishing network or whatever the hell, mini net.
Also, if you don't want to do it yourself, I mean, just follow the videos, and you can create a quick, easy SOP and have a VA do it. Like he mentioned SOPs for VAs and stuff. And yeah, it should be simple, dead simple. Just go through it one time and show them.
We might have an SOP floating around. If we do, we'll throw it in there.
Not that I'm going to dig up and send out. So
right.
He can do it himself.
All right, never mind. Go listen to me, dude. Brad's a bitch, dude.
Today he is. I'm not trying to be a hard ass. I'm just saying, do it.
Fuck you, Mike.
You can look for it, Mike. I'm not going to.
I've got a non-related SEO question here. Any of you guys ever been to the gym to do a bit of boxing with the gloves on and all that stuff? And then when you've had a shower and everything, you can still smell the fucking gloves.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. I've got that right now, and it is. I need to give me 2 minutes, man, because I need to spray my hands. This is killing me here.
All right, dude.
Yeah, they're nasty, dude. Yeah. What kind of gloves do you have?
They're not my own. It's just the guys. I can't even remember. I know they're black and orange, man. I don't even
get your own. Yeah, get your own. And then Vapo Fresh is what I have, and I spray in there. Hayabusa has the best gloves, in my opinion, though. When you're buying them.
But yeah,
HYABUSA. But yeah, it's yeah.
Christina's got a really good modular question, dude. Hi guys, the website is going to have a redesign of the main menu. Does it mean the pages with their names can take the traffic in existing page rank? This is how you craft your page rank. Like literally, this is how you focus most of what is ranking your website. Your modular links versus your contextual links, like in your content, are super ass powerful. And they're going to dictate the way your site behaves. They're going to dictate the way your clusters behave, or if you're just categorizing like silos, they're going to behave like how that. They're going to make your hub pages stronger. Like if you build hub pages and you use your modular links like this properly, you can funnel ranking all over the place into whatever you want. So it's definitely worth looking at what's ranking where you're weak in your rankings. If you're weak in a certain section, a certain category, silo, or a group of clusters, right? Then you might want to take that and pull that into your modular links, either in your main menu or your footer or whatever like that. But you have to really pay attention to this shit, because like I've got websites where there are hundreds of thousands of pages. They're publishing their media-based sites. They're not spam sites. And when there's something like a category that we want to go into and we want to start ranking for, the first thing we're going to do is put that into our top level navigation, because we're going to funnel PageRank into it like instantly. And so that's going to kick it off, and that will usually funnel down into what we call is a hub page. And in our link providing services and all of this, we're starting to have people kind of push back into these hub pages, because it allows you to utilize your modular links in your navigation and in other elements of your website, and then funnel it into a single page that's like, shit, I think Jimmy called it a prism, right?
He called it a prism. It's like the cover of the not Grateful Dead. Damn it, Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Where it's going in and then it shoots out. That's the
prism's hanging. The light hits it. That's the page rank, and then it pops out like this, based on the page.
It makes that noise too.
So, and if you take acid, it works even better. So
another brick in the wall.
Yeah,
I think that's the wrong album. But.
So yeah, I would really pay attention to what you're doing with that redesign, because you can make or break it through that.
I have not yet. I've seen a lot of people kind of pushing it. I assume they just had a launch, right?
Yeah. And I saw something come across about them in a couple.
Yeah, if it's a pretty good launch if Stephen King is pushing it. So they must be paying well. I have not tested it. I'm not
sure. By the way, just so you can see the back end of it, it is actually a good tool. You can do long form content, but it can also write your YouTube descriptions and stuff as well.
Nice.
There's a whole bunch of templates here of post captions.
How much is it a month?
I think it's like $97 or something.
Oh, that's not bad.
Do you have a sample of content that you can pull real quick? Is it paraphrasing or is it writing from scratch?
Nah, it's
right. Just sign up for it and try it out for yourself. I think that's what everyone should do.
Dude,
and sign up through Craig's affiliate link, and
I don't actually have the affiliate link. I was just playing around with it. I like to.
That looks pretty cool. I mean, that combined with, King had a pretty good bonus for it.
It looks like Writer.ai, dude. It looks like the same UI they had years ago.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
I wonder if it's just them rebranding.
Yeah, and King's got SOPs associated with it or whatever. So, I mean, if you could automate this, just publish this to your site.
I mean, obviously, it's going to do better content if you give it more information. I've just basically put in crap here. But it literally, wait till you see it. I'm just going to show you how it works. But I think it's fairly decent. So use this one, open editor, and get the thing to start going. And that's it. It just starts writing for you.
That's cool.
But that's all it's given me because I put in literally nothing. But long form content, you have to obviously feed it more information. But I'm enjoying it. But it's probably not perfect. You probably still do need to. Well, nothing's perfect, is it? So, but I'm enjoying it. I've tried a lot of these AI content fucking tools or whatever you want to call them, and that one looks semi-decent, and I'm just going to use it for crappy little things, just Instagram captions and all that stuff. So it's got its use.
No, anything that you can do to save time is, I don't care what the tool is. It doesn't matter. As long as it fulfills what you need, that's the best thing to use.
It's funny because I look at shit like this, and we were talking about automating other people's tools earlier. I look at shit like that. I'm like, okay,
I know. I'm already seeing the bot in my head too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then you take it a step further. Okay, I have the bot built. How can I monetize it without building sites and everything, like just on the side to run on the server? Okay, I'm going to sign up for what's those article sites that we used to go to? Not iWriter, but the other one that was halfway decent.
Right. I know who you're talking about.
Article, whatever.
Just feed it back into your account as a content producer, basically. So go from
exactly.
there and into your account where you're selling content and sell it to the user at the end.
That's what I would do to monetize it. Yeah.
Like if you go down to the lower star level in those content producing things, it'll work really well. Actually, it's a good idea.
Yeah. I think so. Not that I'm going to do that, but yeah.
Chris Goldsmith saying you can paraphrase on there as well on that tool. So, yeah.
Check it out. Use what you can. I know what I like, and I'm going to keep using it. I'll keep using it. Yeah.
We're actually automating what we like right now. So, to an extent.
Yeah.
They do provide an API.
So,
and that's what I like.
I've got one question for you guys. It's probably not for me, but probably more for you guys. You wouldn't happen to know anyone that knows advanced SEO at all, do you? That has maybe a group.
I can't even spell advanced SEO, let alone hardly read it. I mean, the Mininet training, in my opinion, is basic, but it's also advanced compared to some of the shit out there. It's not fancy. It's just like down and dirty SEO. So mininettraining.com. for advanced SEO. But you get that down, you can make some fucking money.
Go to nfgsecret.com and grab that shit, put it on sites and sell it, and you have a freaking agency in a box that will rank everyone for fucking no effort.
Is that your Twitch profile pic?
Twitch!
I need to sort out. I was saying to Mike before it, we're actually streaming to Twitch and everything today. I forgot to do my profile up though. Need to give myself a slap. But Mininet training as well. Check these two out. nfgseo.com/7 and mininettraining.com if you want to learn a whole bunch of SEO related things.
See how we do it.
Greg, I'm going to come on Twitch and teach you how to paint, fucker.
No, don't do it.
Volume, dude. You want to see some volume? Dude, the people eat that shit up over there.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Painting. Yeah, Mike's all into that crap.
Man, I've never done Twitch. It was just a guy.
I'll paint you.
A guy said to me yesterday, like, why
paint me like one of those French girls.
But yeah, I've never done it. I'm also streaming to Periscope as well.
Periscope is sick,
I've not used that either. It's always been YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn Live. That was it. So I am expanding.
Oh, I got to show you another platform. We'll talk about it. It's sick, dude. I watched a dude do Jenga for like 2 hours from the ground to the ceiling, dude, while I was working. And this guy made so much money playing Jenga.
Two questions. How high was that guy? Also, how high were you?
No shit.
I've got one other question. What the fuck is Jenga?
You know the blocks where you stack the 3 blocks?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
And the party game falls down.
Stack it like this from the fucking desk to the ceiling, bro.
Fuck.
So the other day, dude, there was a dude, he had 0 followers on Twitch, right? He was a musician. He's playing on Twitch. He's just trying to start a stream. It's his first night streaming, bro. And this crypto boy I know raids his channel.
Is your crypto boy in the room? You looked over like you got someone tied in the corner.
So this dude raids his Twitch and says, hey, go make this Twitter account. So the guy makes his first Twitter account ever. And all of a sudden, this fucking raid, these guys gave this guy 85 grand that night, dude. And that was his first stream ever, dude. 0 followers. 0 subs.
Game. I've been fucking.
The dude just was looking through the stream list for a small channel, and he found this dude that could play really good music. 0, nobody watching, and he raided the shit out of him. And the guy made freaking close to 100 grand in crypto.
Madness, absolutely.
I'd show my butthole for close to 100 grand.
You have.
that could be good Twitch content.
Yeah,
surely.
someone be twitching.
Yeah, we don't want to see you twitching though.
No one does.
We'll go back to the guy with 2 first names, Tom Mark. Hi guys, you know the Ahrefs trick where you can look up Amazon affiliate tracking domain name. How can I do this for say Bet365? How do I find the tracking affiliate domain of a website?
You need to use advanced operators, and you can use scrapers to do things like this. What you're looking for is in HTML and various things. You're looking for the code. There are 2 utilities that'll do it.
Yeah, you're looking for a footprint, basically.
Mm-hmm. It's like doing SEO and finding shit for link building.
Yeah, you got to figure out the footprint.
Yeah. Adam Poland.
Yes,
that's it. Yeah, that was the album.
It writes.
I still like brick in the or whatever the name of it. The one with another brick in the wall, even though it doesn't match up as well as they say it does with Wizard of Oz. But
I mean, content AI, we just talked about. I love Quillbot.
Yeah, Quillbot's solid.
Yeah. Anyway, Mark Flanagan's asking, any opinion on crawl rotas, especially WordPress pages, where not all page resources are cached by Google, keeping page resources under 25?
Are you getting? Did you mean quotas? I don't know what the fuck a rota is.
Yeah, neither do I. I was going to act dumb. Yeah, come on, mate. Tell us.
It's got to be like he's asking about crawl budget, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
The question's a little jumbled, but like, is there a specific on the budget that you're talking about? Are you you're not getting crawl? Like
sounds like maybe he's only getting 25 pages indexed.
Well, the page resources, I start thinking of like core web, like the fucking nonsense core web vital update that's coming up, dude. Like LCP and fucking CLS and FID and all that shit. But I honestly, at this point, I'm waiting to see what happens with all of this because I really don't think it's going to make an impact. And I think if it makes an impact, they're smoking for something else. They're smoke screening for something else, dude. The problem with this core web vital shit, and I'm going to go on a rant for a little bit, is that Google's making this a problem for everybody, and it's not a fucking problem. They're trying to change the way people develop websites. You go to ask WordPress, go ask WordPress, you know, hey, what are you guys going to do about this shit? They're going to tell you, go talk to fucking Google because we don't give a shit, right? So they're making a problem for everybody who doesn't need to be there. So it's something to pay attention to. But my answer is what Brad always answers everybody is like, try to make money with your website. Like, the more you actually try to make money with a website on your tier 1 or your tier 2, the better it's going to respond and the better it's going to do with things like page experience, right? So just try to make money with it. Like I showed Brad a question someone asked about a PBN, right? On some random social media site. And I showed Brad and Brad goes, just tell him to try to make money with the site. And it's true. Like it's a really simple answer.
They're talking about deleting their entire network.
Yeah,
because they didn't have use for it anymore.
Right, and it's literally like it's a simple answer, but if you really think about try to make money with the website and what that entails, it entails with optimizing the user experience, which is going to help you convert. If this core web vitals do anything, it's going to help you with that score there. it's going to help you with ranking. Like literally, if you think of everything as a money-making opportunity, it becomes quality. If you build a PBN and you say, well, I'm going to make money with my PBN, it becomes a better PBN just by default. Like just by doing little things, like 1 or 2 things you do make it better than someone else's.
All good. But yeah, he was talking about quotas. I forgot to put that up, but yeah, Mark, that
so,
was.
I mean, so quotas, honestly, like you just really, when you mentioned the page resources, are you having a problem getting a full page crawled? Like, are you having issues with them hitting a whole page, like getting a whole page crawled, or is it more of not getting into the site? Because I'll tell you, like, if you're not paying attention to your crawl budget and you've got, like, we have a campaign where there's like 3 or 4 different countries, right? And we've got countries bleeding into SERPs that we don't want in there, link profile over in different places. And that's taking up, you can see growth. Like when you have certain things going on in your tech, you can see link growth. Like this site like went from like on Ahrefs, like a 10 DR to like a freaking 55 DR in like a month or 2, right? Just with the link profile. And you can see the link growth, this fucking waterfall reverse, right? But there's no traffic on the website yet because there is so many problems with the CMS that we're continuously cleaning issues that when you look at the logs, you see that the spiders are sticking in one location trying to figure this nonsense out, right? So like every time you fix something like that, the crawl budget kind of leaks into the stuff you want it to get to. So you really have to make sure, like when you get into those types of campaigns, that you're actually managing that. So if you have code bloat, fix your code bloat, dude. Like seriously, pull the CSS out. This is when it really matters. Like I say core web vitals are bullshit, but realistically, if you have a site that's like raping the bot and raping the spider and the spider can't go anywhere, you're in trouble. Like we had a major, it was a, not BMW, I'm not going to say who it was, but it was on that level of a auto manufacturer. And they literally like were like broke in this one place. And it took like, honestly, like 10 minutes to fix their website that we kind of spent over a month, like kind of building it up and making it a huge win. But like once we turned it off and fixed it, literally overnight, the traffic freaking like 10x because they had issues with like simple spider traps and loops that were causing problems. So, you know, I've got people right now asking me, can you find me a really good technical SEO? I have too much work for this. Like these are really good SEOs asking for really good SEOs to hire because there's so much technical work right now. And because of all the hype that core web vitals are going to make like over the next year, like there's going to be a huge market for just like, I'm going to come in with Lighthouse and I'm going to make your website better and you're going to rank better. And it's going to not be it. You're going to be doing like content and that's going to rank it, but you're going to sell it on fucking core web vitals, dude. And that's what's coming right now with this update. There's a lot of money around it. I just don't think it's going to be a big deal for us, you know?
Nah,
so
I agree. But on to citations, which is different, completely different from web core vitals. Ricky SEO is asking, out of 150 citations, what would be a good indexing rate? 30%. So what's your experience when you're getting citations? Certainly, SEO Builder, who I use, normally get about 60 or 70% of them index. So I think 30 is very low from my experience, but I'm curious to know about you guys.
30 seems like wasted resources to me, honestly. Like I think if you're not getting into the 60 and 70, you need to look at what you're using and where you're building and look at past campaigns.
A lot of times it's the citations that you're using as well. If you're not building like the solid citations, they're not going to get indexed. If they're just the cheap citations that you're just going out and grabbing, then they're not going to index. Where if you're getting like Yellow Pages, Yelp, you know, Super Pages, all the big ones, Dexnose, anything that takes further, you've got to, you know, talk to someone to get it actually, you know, your stuff in there. Google's going to recognize those much quicker. Like a BBB is fucking awesome. Local chamber, anything like that.
Content, descriptions, everything. What I would do is if this is a trend you're having, grab each campaign in a list, make a single list and throw it into Screaming Frog and analyze the list and look for the patterns. If it's always the same sites, just look for what's going on in the data and then eliminate or do a better job of building the citation for those sites, because different sites have different crawl budgets. They can do different things. Like one site might be able to take thinner content than another. So you've got a discrepancy somewhere in there. That's not a bad idea. You can do that as well. But I would figure out if it's worth pushing to some of the sites there, or if it's the way you're building them.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's not great citations that are the kind of lower end citations would be not indexing.
I've got.
Again, just go throw it into the system and fucking be done with it.
Yeah,
there you go.
It shouldn't be that It shouldn't be that difficult. Citations just part of a process. Just the right guy for it. That's the main thing. And one of the unique selling points of one of the guys that I use, which is SEObuilder.com, is he spins the description, sends them to an indexing tool, which is why he's got that. And I think that part's really important. If you're doing citations yourself and it's a copy and paste job, you're clearly going to struggle to get a lot of them indexed. So, and as Brad says, sometimes you need to make a phone call to verify stuff and all that as well. So
people don't listen either, but like literally, if you want to rank maps, just go to nfgsecret.com, go in there, watch that webinar, put that plugin on your sites or that script on your sites, and you'll rank your freaking map listings without doing shit. Like, I'm not kidding.
Las Vegas SEO, we push them for that. That's all we do.
I mean, it's simple and it costs nothing.
And then he because they redesigned the site, they took the code that we had placed on the site off the site. And then he's like, why am I losing rankings? Let me check your site out. I go to it. It's like, when'd you do this fucking redesign? He's like, oh, last week. It's XXX milliseconds faster, and he had his wiener out talking about it. And I was like, oh, he just fucked it, So, I mean, we could have put it back on, but that dude was loose cannon. Anyone that smokes that many e-cigs, you can't trust. So...
Here, I want to look at something. I might share my screen. Give me a second. All right, let me see if I can. Yeah, this hides enough, dude. I'm gonna share the screen. I want to make a fucking point.
Make a fucking point.
Yeah.
What's your point?
I gotta go back to fucking StreamYard and share this. So.
I've just realised McShifty's got another F in his name today.
It's because he's just.
I got what?
His own name. Another S.
Shifty.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't type it again. It's weird, dude. I have no idea.
Like that, but yeah, it looks a bit different to me, man.
All right, let me see. Does that look good? All right, I think, let me know if you can see this, right?
Yeah,
so, I can see this.
All right. So local, Lorganic. We call this shit Lorganic, right? This is local and organic. This is taking a website that targets national and slapping on hub pages that are targeting local and just using a simple system. And realistically, when you build this shit like this, it becomes very simple. Like, you don't have to overthink your SEO agency. You don't have to overthink your lead generation if you put the right systems in place, right? So when you get the right system, my point is, if you're thinking about citations, you're thinking about the wrong shit. You shouldn't be focusing on why you're not getting your citations indexed. You should literally just be focusing on selling it at this point. Like, you need the systems in place. So go to shit like nfgsecret.com and put it in a system and fucking trust that it works, because literally this shit works. It's not hard. And
we've seen it on multiple occasions work. And
you have people like
said,
ODYS to start you out into industries like this or something, so you can go into industries that are difficult, spend the right amount of money if you have the capital, or go from scratch. Even going from scratch in hard markets, if you do it the right way, it's systemized so it doesn't make it a hard, time-consuming thing. You should not be worrying about citations, right? That's the problem there. Is worrying about the little things and not finding the system that works. Craig, do you
think when you're looking at citation indexation, in my opinion, you don't have a process in place that you trust. So if you're looking at citation indexation, you're not going on to step 2 or 3 or 4. You're kind of stuck on step 2. So you're like, where if you had a process in place that you knew worked, okay, I've got the citations done. Okay, we're not seeing the results we need yet. Okay, I'm going to go to step 3, then step 4, then step 5. You know, I think it's a lack of trust in your system.
Craig's case study and the case study that we're going to do are important because, like, I know SEO, I love SEO, I like doing SEO, but really, like, if I do SEO anymore, it's like, this needs to go here, this needs to go here, like this comes together like that, and then walk away and let it get done, right? I mean, Are you sitting, like your case study, are you sitting down doing SEO all day by yourself?
Oh my fuck. Right. The way I see SEO for me at the moment is I'm investing money in something. I'm buying this or doing that. I'm overseeing it, but I'm not sitting writing the content. I'm not doing the outreach for links. Of course, I will, reach out to a few friends or whatever. Can I get a link for this? How much it's going to cost? Blah, 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 blah. I might have some of those conversations, but the reality is I don't want to be doing fuck all. I really don't. Right. Really an investment for me. I've got the knowledge and the experience. I know what needs done.
This is key. What you said there, I think, is really important for people that are newer in here. Learn how it works, do it some, get that done, but then figure out how to get it cheap from someone else so that you are not having to sit and work in your business.
That is how you scale any business, in my opinion.
A lot of people,
especially what we do.
They go, Craig, you're always on fucking YouTube and all that stuff. Now, I'm on YouTube networking with people, trying to find the best deals, trying to find the best tools, trying to fucking get better knowledge, talking to guys like you and all of the other guys I speak to. And then I take that back to my team and I'll say, right, fucking, they said Quillbot. Quillbot is part of my process. I've stolen that from you guys. I've never heard of it.
Dude, I'm sorry, dude. I've got students just ripping fucking YouTube transcripts, throwing it into Quillbot and destroying it, dude. Like,
it's funny because one of my favorite SEO tools, like of all time, is cognitive SEO, and I got that from Mike. He's like, look at this new tool I found. This is like what, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. I was like, dude, this fucking works. It's insane.
And that's the point. Like, all this new shit has come in since we built our process, but we really haven't changed anything for years because we figured out something that works for us. Like, so when you find the people that you can listen to, like Craig and stuff, who literally, I know Craig, I've seen Craig's revenues on different sites, and Craig literally knows what he is talking about. Thank you, Dan. He kills it in affiliate. Dude, it's about learning what works and then finding the easiest, most efficient way to do it. And that is the best way to do SEO. If you want not to be an SEO that is working for someone else or stuck at like 20,000 a month.
Yeah. Nah, fuck that.
Dude, that's exactly what I'm going to do with investing too. Like I'm able to generate income now, cash flow income, not like, buy and hold stuff like that, which is still important, but everything's overpriced. But dude, I'm going to fucking automate, all of it. I'm going to become I think they call them quants, quantitative investors. Where it's just like you're fucking just automating everything.
Bro, I was looking at this AI script this dude wrote. It's free. You can find it if you look for it. But it trades crypto on news sentiment analysis, dude. And I'm actually looking at stats and kind of looking at some of this, and it's actually working pretty well. Yeah. And it runs smoothly, dude.
We should invent one or create one that just monitors Elon Musk's Twitter feed. And
so like, you can make money on
if he mentions this, dude, you fucking go to Coinbase and you buy like however much I have in the fucking account, like as soon as, and you'll make money.
There's a lot of Dogecoin millionaires that popped up 2 weeks ago.
It's crazy. I'm seeing that everywhere. It's hilarious. It's tempting, but I'm not going to fucking do it. I'll just stick with what I'm doing.
Dude, those coins they're going to have deflation. Some of them are fucked. But it's just SEO, crash, right? Yeah. We're not talking about investing. Sorry, guys.
It's cash flow digital.
That's true.
So it does work.
We've got a question from Miko back, which I'm sure you guys would never admit to, but have you ever had a website that's stuck in page 2 and no matter what you do, it sticks there? Have you ran away and walked away?
A lot of time there's
all of my websites get stuck
millions millions of sites, but a lot of times it's best to walk away, work elsewhere on the site, and it's just a time thing a lot of the time. So age is a factor
Now, if you're talking about like a one-page site that you have that's all jacked up, if I look at a site and a site looks like too difficult to deal with, then it's trash to me. Yes, absolutely, many times. I've done some stupid shit. I got a message today from a really good SEO. It's like, hey, can we do this with some links here? I kind of went all fucking full retard on this and did too much of this, and I'm like, yeah, I've done that too, buddy. But no, like seriously, like you do shit sometimes and it just doesn't work. Like it's not like, I mean, I would say I failed more than I've succeeded in my life, like on shit like this. But like, I mean,
it's failure is learning, to be honest. You know? I mean, I would probably take whatever stuck and go to someone that you would deem a better SEO than yourself.
Yep.
Describe to them what you've done, and then get the recommendations. Try it and see if it works.
That's not a bad point, because about I would say 7 years ago now, I had two SEOs that were working together. There was two of the most well-known SEOs in certain circles come to me and say, "Look, the site's stuck. We can't do anything." And this was pre like Panda, I believe. Like it was before like people really started paying attention to site-wide document issues. And I just ran a crawl on it, and I found the site-wide title that they were using partially. And I said, look, just do this. And instantly it's like the brakes are off the rocket and it shoots up. Like different eyes see different things. So like let someone else look at it. They just might look at SEO a different way than you. Like I don't do SEO the same as other people, and they don't do it the same as me. There's like 1,000 million ways to skin a cat, dude. So get new eyes on it.
Here's a story. Gary Wilson, who you guys know.
Never heard of her.
A CBD website. So he changed server and his website was down for a couple of weeks. Now, he put it back up and it couldn't recover. He paid literally about 5 of the highest profile technical SEO guys to look at it, and they're like, can't see jack shit wrong, can't see jack shit wrong. Now, I was like, Gary, why the fuck did you not ask me? Came to me, I scanned it very quickly, and some motherfucker had robbed all of his content while it was down. So then when he was trying to...
So he's complete dupe.
Dude, sometimes you need a spammer to look at shit. And I'm telling you that right now. Sometimes you don't need a technical SEO. Sometimes you need a spammer, dude. Because I'll tell you... There's some wicked shit out there, and when you get into certain spaces, you see stuff that no one will think of, and then all of a sudden you're like, now you know what to look for. So just have someone else look at it.
Always. And as I say, I'm not the most technically gifted web guy or anything like that, but I certainly think in a weird-ass way and identify. And Gary's like, what? I've went to all these guys and they didn't say shit. And I'm like, probably just don't look at it that way. So as you say, check, not even necessarily an SEO, just some dirty bastard that can check it out and see if you've fucked up something or someone's fucked you up. But back to Mark Flanagan. He said not all of the page is being cached, i.e. CSS, Oxygen core framework, affects how the page looks or being mobile friendly. Read an article about keeping your page resources under 25 per page.
Man, the lighter you can keep the code, the better off you're going to be. There's going to be something in there that it's getting hung on. And are you watching the headers? Are you watching the transfer? Like, are you watching what's going on? Have you been over to webpagetest.org or whatever? I mean, like that's going to be, you need to look at the code. Like they're obviously getting hung on something if it's not reading the full page. I mean, how heavy is the page?
What I'd also say,
keeping my pages light.
What's that, Greg?
With Oxygen, there's a guy that's normally in the chat called Paul Hogden. So Mark Flanagan, even if you give Paul Hogden a shout, that's his theme. Like it's not, he doesn't own the theme, but he builds all of his websites using Oxygen. So he might be a guy that can tell you of a common fucking thing on that theme.
Knowing a good dev, like when you know somebody that knows some of this shit, it's really important, because there's a lot of times where I'll look and I can't find it. I got to send it off to someone else because I'm not going to dig through like template files everywhere. And it's just, I'm too lazy. Not happening.
I'm the same. And give it to someone that knows what the fuck they're doing, that enjoys that shit. But yeah, check that out. Adam Poland, do having parent and child pages make a difference for SEO?
Yes.
If you're talking about in WordPress, like as a functionality, It's just the naming of functionality in WordPress. If you're talking about primary and support pages, pillar and support pages, power pages, and this and that, yes, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Plus,
we don't typically use parent-child in the traditional
now
realm, though, because we don't do /Summerfield/plumber.
There is some taxonomy shit that you can do in WordPress with parent and child pages that will allow you to pull up pages a little bit easier in ranking than others. But it's a long conversation, and it's a specific way to set up your parents and your children so that when you're ranking one page, it's flowing to another. So if you pay attention to things like taxonomies and directives like 301s and canonicals and things, and how juice flows to that, you can figure it out. So if that's what you're asking about, there's something to it in individual CMSs if they're set up correctly, but you could do it by hand as well. There's a question about what is black hat and white hat. BH and WH is black hat SEO, white hat SEO. The difference is being within terms of service or outside of terms of service, or legal or illegal, depending on what you're talking about.
Yeah, I like to go legal versus illegal because, I mean, if it were in or out of terms of service is how we defined it, then there's no way, there's no white hats out there. You know?
I've always laughed that time at NFG Rockstars. Kyle Roof came up to me and said, "Your talk had like 5 fucking felonies in it."
It did. He's a lawyer. He should
talk had 5 felonies in it.
Yeah, honest to God, he said, like, mate, you get fucking thrown in jail for some of that shit over here. I'm like, what? Pretending to be a lawyer? And actually, I met Kyle in Milan after that when we were talking at an event. And he was proper angry. He brought it up again while he was drunk. And he went, fucking lawyers take that shit serious. Impersonating another lawyer.
Bro, dude, I have literally been sued for images. I've lost on each one at least $10,000 for using an image. Like, it's not a joke. Like, there are attorneys out there that will scan for you doing problems and then try to collect cash and let the person know that you took it from. So you have to be careful with the way you do certain things for sure.
But I'm not sure.
Well, yours should, like, before you get on stage, like, there should be someone over the intercom that says, "This is only for informational purposes only." You know, it was some gangster shit for sure.
I had to try and give something away because I was coming over. We'll all use American monsters who had hair do all sorts of shit. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'll go over there and just talk about some fucking filthy shit."
Yeah. I didn't even have a presentation at that one. I just rambled about PPL, like just on one of those, like, everyone's eating type shit. I just got up there and just spit out.
Doesn't it crack you up when you get in a private like when you're in a private group and everyone's having a beer and everyone's talking about real, like, black hat SEO, like some of the shit you hear that people pull, dude. I always have a great time in those conversations.
Oh, yeah. Clint's pretty good at it, I'd say. He's interesting to talk to at the events for when we do start having events again. You know,
I could tell you many networks that have been public out there that had many backdoors. It's really funny to see like what has happened through the years and people buying services and not knowing what they're actually pushing into. Like, it's pretty amazing. Clever people in this industry for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's frightening the way people.
Hacker Nation.
Yeah, it's funny. We have Stud Muffin saying, "Is affiliate the most money SEOs can make, or what top SEOs usually get their money from?" So
you can make a shit ton of money from client. You can make a shit ton of money from PPL, which in a way is affiliate. I mean, you can make a shit ton of money from fucking selling SEO services.
You can make a ton of money in anything, though. You can just build like a builder's company and just market the shit out of that. Like, there's just so many options. If you've got the
skill set, I think the skill set that you develop doing this stuff, it puts you in a position where you can go into any market and you find a way. Like, you become a social engineer. You start to see pattern. Like, so, like, I would rather go from the internet to, like, brick and mortar than be brick and mortar and try to go online.
Try and learn the internet game. Yeah. It's funny because you bring that up, and as everyone probably knows in here, I was a big fan of Undercover Billionaire. It had Cardone on it, who had been, I've read his books and shit like that. But he has that similar knowledge, the online stuff, and he doesn't even know how to do the fucking, at least I don't think he does. Didn't seem to. He doesn't know how to do like the everyday nuts and bolts shit, but he understood the overarching, we're going to put you everywhere. It sounded like Russ talking, right, all the time.
Drink the fucking Kool-Aid.
Yeah, exactly. So he would go in there, in 90 days, he built a company that was valued at 5.5 mil. 90 days, because he understood the overarching, you got to get your shit out on the internet. He understood networking and marketing, like at its core, and he made
I would put money on it if you both started with zero right now, that within 30 days you'd be making 5 or 10K easy.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah. Back to the wall. You fucking you can arbitrage some links for 5K.
There's a question about percentage of white hat and black hat, and I just want to make sure that that's not something that's getting stuck in someone's head. Like literally,
it does not matter. It's irrelevant, in my opinion.
Just do what is going to make a successful campaign within the parameters.
Within the legal realm. We'll say that, so we don't.
Yeah, within the parameters that are set for you. I mean, you might have, if you're doing client work, you might have a client who's like adamant about you're not going to do certain things, and like you have a job to be ethical and not do those certain things if they tell you not to. I mean, so just stay within what is right for the campaign you're working.
Yeah. Also, do you guys know anyone that we can recommend Gizmo Plans can hire to go over and check their internal link structure? I don't do that shit for anyone. If
they go and get a message to NFG SEO, we probably have someone that'll do it in the students for sure.
So ping NFG SEO.
Yeah, just hop in the Skype room and post something in there. And there's a link to the Skype room. Yeah, and then the first lesson has a link to the Skype group. So hop in there. It's free for the first 7 days. And if you don't like it, get the fuck out,
Oh, man. If you don't like it, get the fuck out.
That should be, we need to put that on the lander somewhere.
I'll change the name of the Cognitive SEO is a...
I think it's in a group all the
time.
I
don't use 90% of the tools there, okay? So, to be very clear, the only thing we use there is the Content Assistant. And so it will compare to any keyword tool or whatever, but just in there, use the focus terms so you can filter it, and you will get pages ranking for more keywords than any other tool I've seen yet.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think we pretty much... I'm not sure what this means. Is it called clickbait?
Clickbait is, if you're running, the black hat AdSense stuff, someone goes to a page, you have a big disclaimer at the top, we track cookies or whatever, you click it, they just clicked your AdSense ad unknowingly. Yeah. It's
essentially taking an AdSense ad, putting an image over it that is not clickable, and they're clicking through when they try to donate to some charity or whatever, but they're clicking your ad and they're going on somewhere.
Very good way to get your AdSense account banned. And a step further from that is clickjacking, where you just make a certain percentage of the visitors just click the ad just randomly, like you click it for them. That's another good way to get your AdSense account banned. So don't do it unless you know what you're doing. And I probably at that point would not suggest it either, because it can be deemed illegal. So be careful.
One last little one. I just want to help our prosser here. Is it worth buying an expired domain name if no pages from the old site are currently indexed?
I don't give a shit, because they will index if it's a spam-free site. So grab it, throw the old content on there if you can get it. If you can't, use Coolbot or whatever resource you want to get content. Throw that on there, build it up, and then if you still need, they have links going to them, so they're going to get crawled. But if they don't, for whatever reason, send some links to internal pages as well as the homepage, and have it indexed, and then shoot for. If you want to see if it's really clean, shoot for a long.
Point it at something keyword on page 10.
Yeah.
Just point it at something on page 10, see if it moves up, and then take it away and use it.
Yeah. But yeah, you have to rebuild it. Most of the websites that are expired domains, a lot of
if
the
they've
time
been expired for years, then yeah, they're not going to be indexed. So most of the ones that I deal with have been expired for a good bit of time. So
Jared down there, that was they were the two largest affiliates. They made up 60%, and they went to prison, dude.
It's not fun shit. Yeah,
I remember that.
How long did they get for that?
The dude that was like near me, I think he got like 18 months. Like you have to pay it, dude. If you're doing things like GMB, like where you're doing certain things to verify stuff. If you're doing certain like cookie stuffing, will get you in trouble. It's not legal. Like there's things that if you're
especially when you do it at scale, you're kind of putting yourself up there to get kind of hit.
Like there's things you can get away with at a certain level, and then there's things where like, okay, here's some wire fraud. Like you can ask Jordan in the audience about some of that. That Jordan's buddy did 5 years for GMB stuff, dude. Like no joke. Like I remember when Jordan picked him up from prison. Like
recently, he'd been in a while.
You really have to be careful with what you choose to do, and that's why knowing the line of where the laws are. Like shit changes all the time too, because it's the Wild West. Like you might be doing something one day, and then all of a sudden someone's prosecuted and going to prison, and now you have to change everything, man.
And you've got these old crusty congressmen fucking trying to rewrite the rules that they have no idea. Everyone saw them interviewing Zuckerberg from Facebook, and they had they didn't know what encryption meant. It was crazy, and these are the people writing the law. So you got to be careful.
Someone's asking, what did this guy actually do with GMBs?
He was getting a change of address on scale. He would send the postcard to an address, have it redirect to his address, and then he would get it. But please don't do that.
You can get hit with things like wire fraud. You can get hit things.
It's mail fraud,
mail fraud. Like there's just lots of fraud you can get hit with if you.
You're fucking with the federal government at that point, and it's you don't need to do
it. Last little one, live RIL fan who's always in, so we'll do this one. Trying to figure out if auto clicker apps on Android for YouTube will work or not. He's got currently 100 phones. Do you think this is a good or a bad idea?
It's working for Holly, isn't it? For GMBs, if it works in GMB, it's going to work in YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, if you can make it look right and you're fingerprinting, you're protecting fingerprinting correctly. It depends on how you're doing this. I mean, you got devices there. You can do it.
I probably you did a CPR test.
I mean, if you can make it look like it's legitimate, Craig just, what was that CTR thing that followed, like you guys all did freaking on YouTube?
It's that just swing and hit contest.
Yeah, they just sending real traffic works, and that is essentially real traffic, different phones, different stuff. So
different IPs. Yeah, you're going to have a separate IP, especially if you're on.
Honestly, what I would do is make sure you create an account for each phone. And they subscribe, and that they are going and they're giving your metrics on everything that you drop, dude. Is probably the best way forward. But
back to the Instagram bots we were talking about earlier. It's just fucking. I mean, that worked for them. That halfway makes me want to go out and fucking start an Instagram account, but I don't want to put the time and effort into figuring it out.
You have your OnlyFans, dude. You're good.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I would feed people into my OnlyFans. Is using that. So bradsfeet.com if anyone wants to check it out.
What's Brad's Feet?
Bradsfeet.com. Yeah, have you been to it, Craig? You haven't seen my OnlyFans?
Nah, fuck that shit, man. Jordan says get some history on your phones before you start hammering shit out of them. But live RIL fan is doing it and it's working. He just wants to automate the fucker. So good luck with it, mate.
I got a buddy that's automating all that right now again, and I don't have the patience to. I did that. I've been honestly, Craigslist. We were killing Craigslist in the same manner, like freaking 9 years ago, giving away free laptops and putting them in schools. I got a buddy that got blacklisted by the U.S. Department of Education. It all works, dude. Like when you figure something that works, then scale. That's like what we always talk about.
Yeah, figure out how to automate it. Yeah, like you said, I mean, the pain is there, so you're gonna. I have no doubt that you're going to figure out a way to automate it, and then you're not going to have to worry about it. It'll be a pain in the ass to automate, but you can do it. So, should SEO be regulated, fellas? I know we're like 4 minutes over, but
I answered that one yesterday with Stud Muffin. It's too hard to regulate. Shit changes too much.
Yeah,
it's almost.
It should probably be regulated to an extent, but not to the extent that like the U.S. government wants to do.
If it regulates, they can regulate everybody but me, and I'm good, dude. Let me do everything the hell I want.
Yeah. I just listened to Nate Dogg. Honestly, regulators. Yeah,
regulation. If you're not risk averse, regulation can be a good thing because if you're willing to go around it, you're going to make
the rules.
Yeah, so Jared Abbott is a knees guy, by the way. So yeah, that's not bad VMOs there. Someone's been working.
Brad'sKnees.com. Yeah. It's coming at you, Jared. I expect $100 a month from you.
I see all sorts on that TikTok. People.
Jared said it right. Those who listen and those who don't. That's why regulation is an advantage to some.
Yeah.
It's just like the market. I mean, you can fuck the market pretty hard, but you don't really want the SEC going after you. Look at the Wolf of Wall Street, you know.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if Jared's referring to the.
That was the knees, bro. The knees.
You want to see the other one? The other one? Yeah, it's going to cost you. You know.
Yeah.
If you pay extra, I'll knock them together.
Oh, for fuck's sake. On that note, I think it's a good time to.
That was just past the point of exit, I think. So
ODYS. Yeah, check out ODYS. Check out NFG, SEO.com, and MiniNetTraining.com. And that's it, guys. We'll catch you again next week. So take it easy.
Peace out.
Bye. Thanks, guys.